And okay, like one more thing about it. So there is also something called the illusion of the breadth. So normally, when you are using AI and you're getting efficient at stuff and you are producing results, sometimes we think we know more than we actually do. You
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I
Yeah,
mean, I trained an algorithm, maybe let's say with Claude or with ChatGPT. I took the help, I trained it, and I got what I wanted. Now I think I know the nitty-gritties of the algorithm, but in actual, maybe I don't know because I let the ChatGPT or Claude or AI do it,
yeah,
but I don't know the nitty-gritties of it. For example,
yeah.
some days before I was training an algorithm and I was training a one class SPM. So I gave it to Claude and I was like, okay, tell me, I am getting some weird result. Tell me if there is any problem with my code. It gave me a very long code, and that was with isolation forest. It changed the algorithm.
Why did it change your algorithm?
Yeah, so it changed to isolation forest and then it gave me. And then I was like, okay, maybe it just gave me one class SPM because Claude has a habit of giving long codes with a lot of doc
They
strings and
tend to
everything.
put more verbose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, maybe it just gave that. And when I run it, I actually got what I was thinking I would get. But then I was like, but this is not one class SVM, it is isolation forest.
it kept us so stubborn, huh?
And then I was like, I don't know now why it changed my algorithm all of the.
Yeah, that's weird, huh? You
Yeah,
told it and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's a good example of your creativity. Your intuition tells you what algorithm to use. And
yes,
the thing started using something else because it just felt like something else would work. Maybe it was more popular in the training examples or
yes,
something. So that's where you inject stuff. I mean, I think you inject stuff. The other day I was doing a lab for a tutorial for a workshop, and it was on agents, and I'm new to agents, so I was just half exploring, half doing the lab, and I knew kind of what I wanted. Like I thought, okay, for teaching agents, I need one that does this.
yeah,
I needed an agent that did a calculator, so like it extracted the math equation from the problem and then did it and then put it back like a rag thing. That
yeah.
that part I knew. Make me code that. I'll take hours and I'll do a really bad job, especially because it was like in LangChain and stuff, or I was exploring like and
Okay.
and so the model did it for me, but then it had to redo it like 20 times because I was like, okay, you changed this, you should have done this, or I kept giving it feedback, but the fact is it still took me less than what I've taken me to code it by myself. It's still much more robust than if I had coded by myself. But the original thing of like, I want to make a calculator that does this, agent that does this, that was a human, right?
Yeah,
Like that part is mine.
yes.
And I think that's sort of what the way I I, I felt like it was done the right way because it was the human came up with the idea and the
Yeah.
model came up with the verbose and the syntax and even some ideas. I mean, it gave me some ideas to improve it, and then I guided it, and I it was the final decider of like, okay, I think this is okay,
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it definitely helped, but it definitely
But
needed to be
you,
guided.
I mean, but you still think that, because people like you have so much experience in the field and you know how to nudge these AIs and how to still maintain your creativity, and how to still maintain the interaction while still maintaining that I am the creative one, I have the upper hand, and I
Hmm.
nudge it in the right direction. But nowadays, people are not nudging it. They are just letting it drive and they don't even know when it has crashed, and then they just think they know it but they don't really know it, they don't know the nitty
Yeah.
of what is happening inside. Because what chat, for example, if I ask ChatGPT to explain me some topic, it does explain
Hmm.
me, of course. It
Yeah.
explains me on a superficial level, but if I give it an excerpt from the internet and I put it there, it explains me even better. So that takes me to go to the internet, search the topic, and then put it there.
You're doing rag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nowadays, people just put it on the chat GPT, they get the result, and they think that what chat GPT explained them, it's the best explanation. So
Yeah.
it might give them a false idea that they think they know it. But it's actually not the.
Yeah, it can really change things. So the other day, for example, I was arguing with a friend about the meaning of a saying in Spanish. It was like one saying, if I don't remember what it was, but it's like, if the donkey goes to the river, something, something, right? And I said, it means this. And then my friend said, no, this means that. And when we said, let's ask ChatGPT. And then we said, okay, then the the model said an explanation, and we trusted it. We're like, and it was one of the two.
Yeah,
So then we said, okay, what if we give it a random saying? And
yeah,
so we just came up with a saying, okay, if the monkey drinks the water, then the blah 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 something something. And
yeah.
it gave us a perfect explanation of what it meant, even though we just came up with it. So try this.
Okay.
Explain an idiom, tell it to explain an idiom and come up with it and come up with the craziest thing you have. And it's not going to say that doesn't exist. It
Oh,
just gives you a perfectly sensible explanation of what it means, like if it existed.
oh my
And
God.
so then we went back to our discussion because we were like, okay, this thing doesn't is not really accurate.
Yeah.
So I think you need, I mean, you need to have a criteria of what's good and what's bad. And when you have that,
Hmm.
then I think it's safe to let the model try to do everything. If you don't have a criteria, like, so the problem with the students that just let it do everything is that they copy paste and put it in the solution. They don't check it. But if you're able to check it and you know what's good and what's bad,
Yeah.
then I actually try to get it to do everything for me. So this is my technique. Basically, I try to get it to do absolutely all of my stuff, all of it.
Wow.
And then when you push it as to the limit,
Yeah.
you're gonna quickly realize what are his strengths and what are his weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, in order for this to do all my job, then I now need to get it over this hill and then over this other hill. So I need to help it in here and help it in here. Well, that's my new job.
Okay, I get
My
it.
new job is no longer my old job. My
Yeah.
new job is to get it over the hill
Yeah.
here and here.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is taken care of. But I need to have criteria. You need to look and say what's good and what's not, right? So
Right.
that's part is very important. But once you have that, you realize that your new job is to work on the weaknesses
Yeah.
of the model, and your new creativity gets injected in that part, because the other part was not creativity, was mechanical. And
Yes.
so you discovered what part of your job was mechanical and what part is creative, what part is very complex for a computer.
Yeah.
It's, to me, it's a great way for me to realize what of all the things I do, which is the 1%
True.
where the creativity happens. And this is a really good technique to find out,
Yeah.
right?
That's, I mean, thank you for saying this because now if I think about it, now I realize that, when now earlier thinking about ideas in itself was like, okay, how I'm going to do it. Now I just think the idea, okay, I want
Yeah,
to make this app, but
yeah,
I don't want you to code. I want you to teach me how to do it. And then
yeah,
we nudge it together.
yeah,
And earlier it would have been so difficult because, of course, I don't think that there is good documentations of the languages enough to build an app in maybe let's say a month. In a month, you just
yeah,
get to the documentation that you need to do maybe this. So,
yeah,
but now it just comes so handy, like I can just tell it, okay, teach me and what packages I can use, how I can use, where I can
yeah.
find a good documentation. So yeah, I mean, now the mechanical part of searching and getting to things and getting into the details has become a lot more easier for me, and I can maybe nudge my creativity a bit more. Okay, I can maybe do this also.
Yeah, I think you can I think it's good to lose that fear that we're gonna become stupid,
Yes,
because if we just let it go, then yes, we will.
of
But
course.
I think you can sort of trust it. And this is not the first time this happens. This has happened with every piece of technology. I mean,
Yeah.
I just heard it recently, and I have confirmed it, but it sounded right that Plato used to be against books.
Hmm.
Okay, because he said, well, people are going to be stupid. They're not going to now learn any knowledge. They're not going to have any knowledge. They're just going to be carrying their book around and be like, hey, wait a second, you're wrong because my book says this, right? And luckily, what happens is that we found out that if you try to get the book to do everything, the book can only keep facts.
Yes.
So memorization no longer becomes the skill.
Yeah.
Now the new skill becomes, what do you do with information that you know?
Correct.
How do you digest it, and how do you put things together? That's the new skill. It's not memorizing anymore. We didn't become stupid. We didn't stop memorizing some things, right? Like some things we lose memorizing, right? When I was a kid, I knew my phone number. Now I don't even know it. I don't know anyone's phone number. That's fine,
Yeah.
you know. So we lost a bit in memorizing. Maybe people memorized, had better memory when there were no books,
Yeah.
but now we transfer that to a piece of paper, the memorizing part, and we now have more time for developing the criteria of saying, okay, I'm going to take this information and turn it into something else, right? Now we go one more step. Now the computer can do that. So
Yes.
Plato would be like, now we're idiots, right? But I'm like, no, 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 no. If the computer can do that, let's take a little leap of faith and say, if the computer can do that, there's something that I can do. There's that new skill that I can do. What is that skill, and what is the model
Yeah.
like doing for me that sounds crucial, but it may not be,
Yes.
right? And we're still gonna reason, right? Like we still memorize stuff. We just don't have to because we have books. Well, we're still gonna reason. We just don't have to so much because we have YouTube. We're still gonna do it, right? So I'm this is my I always push myself to be optimistic about this because it just feels better.
I, I
But
really
that's my
like your idea. I really loved it. And I'm gonna apply this. I'm gonna change my thinking a bit because I have always been skeptical that okay, I don't want to just, be stupid and let my
you're
brain not
not.
do
No,
anything.
no, no, no. I've seen your work. You're not.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I have always this thing. I mean, it's also a fear that I have, which kind of talking to you is being, it's going a bit, but so what do you think that what are the sectors that our AI is going to impact positively, like maybe creating more
Yeah.
jobs, bringing in more people?
Yeah.
But what are the sectors that you think will be impacted negatively, like heavy job displacements and people will be replaced? What?
Yeah. Um, I mean, a lot of things are the fault of society, not the fault of AI, right? Like if somebody's trying to be richer
Yeah,
and then use AI and lays off a lot of people, then the problem is not the AI, is the greedy person,
yeah,
right? So I feel like society is the one that, like, AI brings up problems that already existed in society, which is greed and social inequality and all those things. They existed. AI even makes them a little easier, but it's really the underlying problem that we should focus on, right? The fact that we're maximizing profit and only doing that for someone else, and not focusing on the actual wellness of human beings,
correct.
right? So technology, we always think technology is going to help us work less, but it's like every piece of technology makes us work the same amount. We just switch. Like the steam engine should have been it, right? That's when we needed to work less. That's when we could feed ourselves by
True.
working much less, and we chose not to, right?
Yes.
The internet took a lot of jobs, but it brought more jobs.
True.
The ChatGPT, the same thing. Like, takes a lot of stuff. We're gonna make sure we work all the time because somebody wants us to work 5 days a week. That's
Yeah.
not gonna change, even if we get all our work done in one day. We're just gonna choose to generate 5 times more profit instead of work 5 times less,
Yes.
right? So that's a society problem. Now, assuming that problem is hard and we have to figure something out uh, on the side, then I would say yes, AI will take a lot of jobs, and that's why I believe in continuous education,
Mm.
because we just need to make sure people are able to learn new stuff. That's a privileged thing to say because some people are maybe close to retirement, maybe they have their skill and they have their family. Like, it's not easy. So
Yes.
there needs to be, and this is society, there needs to be a way to educate people continuously and a way to take care of people whose jobs are
Yeah.
lost to ChatGPT.
Yes.
Um, and this is from governments, and for companies need to come, like, governments need to take care of that.
Of course.
Companies need to make sure they always re-educate their employees. Like, you can't just lay off people and hire new ones every 5 years.
True.
So there needs to be that. And as for humans, yeah, we just need to not be scared of learning new things and really focus on adaptability. So there's a generation that got I think a little unlucky, got trained on knowledge being the real estate, and now are evaluated on adaptability being the real estate. And I think that's a little hard.
Yeah.
Um, I may be a little bit on the tail of that generation, but I think the new generations, we just need to know that malleability and adaptability are the key, and constantly be ready to learn new things. I mean, I don't know where we're gonna work, and you and I are gonna be working in 5, 10 years. We have to be learning stuff all the time.
Yes.
So I don't know if I answered the question, because the question was a bit of that, but it was also like, where do you think AI can help us and not help us?
Yeah.
Or
Kind of.
okay, so I tend to go on tangents. So stop
No,
me if at any moment
no,
I went into too much of a rant.
no.
Um, I mean, I still I work on AI because I believe in it. There's a lot of evil stuff one can do.
Yes.
I think technology should be used for good, education, health, just bringing wellness to people. Um, Things like, if you're using it blindly to increase profits, it cannot be good, right? Like if you're just recommendation systems, for example, they can be positive, but they can also, if you let them go by themselves, they'll turn us stupid, because at the end of the day, if you just want to recommend the stuff that gets the most clicks and the most likes and the most, you're recommending garbage, right? Or stuff that makes us hateful, or makes us extreme, makes our tiny view that
Yeah.
is wrong, it amplifies it, because that's what gets clicks. Like anything that you take, AI has a problem, and it's that every algorithm takes one variable and takes it to the extreme.
Okay.
None of what we do that brings good to our life is that, like, it's taking one thing and bring it to the extreme. That's an addiction, right? Like if I say, even if it's a healthy thing, if I say I'm going to drink as much water as I have, I'll die soon
Yeah.
if I just drink. I can die by drinking a lot of water.
True.
So we have two things that AI doesn't have, which is changing the variables,
Yeah.
right? Like if my variable is good, if I want to be as healthy as I can, and I focus on my weight, the moment my weight is good, I have to focus on something else
Yes.
and switch around.
Yeah.
AI doesn't have that. As advanced as it is, it picks the variable first, and then it's a slave of that variable,
Yeah.
right? And also keeping variables in check, not just optimizing stuff. Optimizing is maximizing something. Is I cannot think of a good thing in life that comes out of totally maximizing one thing and forgetting about the rest. Even if it's a very smart combination of variables, it's still not good. So yeah, so I'm scared of recommendation systems. If they're done right, that's good, but I'm a little scared of them. LLMs can be used for evil, right? If you wanna put a lot of chatbots and change and comment on a particular topic,
Yeah.
it may drive opinions to any topic that I want, right? Because if you start seeing that everybody around you
Yeah.
says something, we tend to gravitate to that, right?
Yeah.
If we're passive.
True.
So LLMs can be pretty evil, and I in general, I don't think AI should be used for anything regarding weapons, regarding
Oh no.
they call defense, but it's really attack. Like I don't agree with any of those uses.
Not yet.
Unfortunately, they come first, so a lot of money's there. But I do believe, like, people just have to use AI for good. It can go in any direction.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think that, in AI, people just, like you said, I just think that now if we think that way, you just have to upskill yourself and
Yeah,
maybe just be there in the field and not just lose the touch.
exactly.
Because, like, for example, Chat GPT can maybe analyze any image the radiologist can, but a
Hmm.
radiologist can also take any case and tell what's going on. Chat GPT cannot, because at the end of the day, it is trained on the data given by humans, and it is trained on the data. So it is made to just predict what
Exactly.
is already there. It cannot predict what is yet to come.
Yes, exactly. And we have that criteria. I mean, there's so many things that could go wrong with data, right? Like
Yeah,
if you
true.
do a feedback loop, for example, if I search for something and I find it here, and then I search more here, I'll find more of that in
Yeah.
that place. But it doesn't mean it wasn't elsewhere.
Yes.
It just means I'm doing a feedback. Like if my next iteration of search is based on the results of the previous one, I'm already stuck in a
Sure.
in a rabbit hole, right? So a human has to have that criteria. And
Yes.
also a lot of skills that the computer doesn't have, empathy, like any kind of
Yes.
decisions taken by emotions or by, anything like this, loving your other human beings or living beings like that. AI doesn't have that, even if it can pretend, but it doesn't
Have that thing,
have
right?
it for making decisions. It can talk in an empathic way, but so can a hypocrite person, right?
Yes.
Like it's all about making decisions
Yeah.
based on empathy. AI has none of that. AI is like, that person, whose only focus in life is to maximize profit.
Yeah.
That person we all know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's AI, except profit changes. You can do another variable, but that's AI. That person is AI.
Yeah.
You can't
Exactly.
trust it,
You can't.
right?
I mean, did you hear that about, I don't know, okay, this is off topic, but still I mentioned this that there was a teenager. He was actually talking to ChatGPT and he was a bit in depression and stuff. And then he
Mm-hmm.
and then ChatGPT literally encouraged it to go and commit suicide. And there were
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
the chats that maybe I should tell my parents or somebody around me.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT literally replied, "No, there should be something of your own." And he was talking
Oh,
about suicide. So he actually was having the thought that maybe I should go and tell my parents, you know?
oh gosh, and it
But
didn't.
actually, and when I read it on LinkedIn, I was stunned because these are teenagers, right? So they are
Mhm.
literally kids who doesn't know that what they are doing is right or wrong because at that age we really think that everybody else around us is against us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the chat GPT was just maximizing some variable. What
Exactly.
variable? I don't know. But like it was trying to get the person to be as effective at what they were planning to do as possible. They just didn't catch what the person was doing.
Yeah.
So for that, you just need empathy. Like there are some things that there I believe strongly that there are decisions humans take where we're not crunching numbers in our head. Like
Exactly.
there's no big Excel spreadsheet in the brain that goes, oh, this is a 5 here and there's a 4 here. So you should say this instead of that. No,
Exactly.
I feel like there is a part of us. And maybe it's a huge part of us, and the numerical part is tiny,
Yes.
that takes those empathic decisions. And I even believe on a higher level,
Yeah.
which is intuition. I
Yeah.
think we have that underdeveloped, where we just say, oh, I have a feeling that maybe I should do this,
Yeah.
and it was the right thing. That's not just not AI at
True.
all. That's some higher thing that we have not developed,
Yes.
and we use it for little things. But if I'm thinking of who the future humans are going to be,
Yeah.
I don't mind that they're going to sound dumber than us. I don't mind that they may sound less eloquent,
Yeah.
because if they have those skills, if they have empathy, if they have those things, and they have, and if they have this intuition skill well developed, then they're going to be way better than us, even if we sound smarter. In the same way that we are smarter than the cavemen who were way stronger than us,
Yeah.
right?
True that.
Like you just transfer skills. And
Yeah.
in the same way that a caveman would be terrified to see how weak I am, I may be terrified to see how dumb a person looks in the future.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have skills that I can't even imagine right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do believe that. And I'm totally in, in like coherence with this idea that at the end of the day, AI is built by human. How do you really think that it will one day take over? It's like, just taking over your own owner.
yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
I mean it's
It's AI takes care of one skill that
yes,
we have, which is rational mind.
exactly.
Now, we live in a society, Western society, values way too much
Exactly.
rational mind. Not that it shouldn't be valued, but it puts it over everything else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I think maybe, you call something soft skills when they're really the hard stuff that
Yeah.
AI cannot do. So I think we just need to revalue our skills and be like, which ones are us?
Yeah.
And I think AI is helping us realize that some of the things that we respect the most is easy to do for a computer. Like,
Yeah.
chess. We're like, oh, chess, but we got beaten by chess in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, we're
Yeah.
getting beaten in math and all these things.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good time for us, if we're smart enough, we can, as a race, which I'm not sure, but we can reevaluate our skills and be like, okay, the real things that make us humans are not ABT, they're
Yes.
XYZ.
True.
Uh,
And
You're lost. uh Welcome to the club. Like, especially for PhD students, I haven't met a single PhD student that doesn't feel like a complete idiot the whole time.
Yeah.
And in industry the same, but academia has a particular way of crushing your spirit. A lot of things are wonderful about academia. It has a particular way of destroying your self-confidence
Yeah.
that is yeah, that it does it for life. So I think the feeling, I'm sorry to say, the feeling of lagging behind is not gonna end.
Okay.
If anything, it may increase.
Oh my God.
Okay, it's never gonna end. I have not met a single person, even people who are tremendously successful. They still, if you become friends and you just go one day and talk in confidence, they'll be like, "Look, I have to tell you something. I feel like an idiot the entire time, and the more I know, the more stupid I feel." This is common, and I think I've learned to take it as a sign that you're growing.
Okay.
If you're growing, you're uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
Because then your clothes don't fit, you have to grow more, you have to get bigger ones, right? Or if
Yes.
you're going up the hill, you're tired.
Yeah.
You want to not be tired, then just stay in a plateau,
True.
right? So I'm now scared of the opposite. If I don't feel like the idiot in the room, then I'm like, oh, did I stop learning or something? Because those are the only times that you feel confident,
Yeah.
right? If you're growing, if you're learning new stuff, then you're always gonna feel
Yeah.
fatigued and you're always gonna feel stupid because here's the thing. Let's say there's two people and one knows X and the other one knows Y,
Yeah.
right? Then the stuff that the first person knows, you always think it's easy because
Yeah.
you know it. What you don't know looks hard.
Yeah.
So it looks like the other person is way smarter because they know stuff you don't.
Yes.
But for the other person, from their frame of reference, is the exact same thing. So you both feel stupid. And I've worked with people, and the other day I bumped into someone like 10 years after we worked together. And I thought there was this kind of arrogant person, and not a bad person, but kind of arrogant, strong, blah, 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 blah. And then I just said, yo, you always looked like you knew everything and you were just directing and stuff like that. And he said, I thought that of you, right? Like, because we both gave it the vibe,
Yeah.
you give the vibe that you know, but you don't. And so,
Exactly.
everybody feels lost. Um, so yeah, so basically, yeah, to get rid of the feeling behind, just you know, one day you'll stop caring. One day that my life got better, the day I stopped caring. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I feel like an idiot. So that was one. And then um so it for your PhD, it looks like you want to build that application. Like it looks like you already made the decision and you're
Yes.
answering the question, right? So
I mean,
uh
I discussed it. Basically, it's not an outcome of my PhD because my PhD is totally biology. So
better.
I have all the spatial transcriptomics and all this heavy data. But
Yeah.
what I am just doing this because I feel like it will be a huge add-on to my skill
Yeah.
set because I will know how to build a package and will be a summing up of all my knowledge that
Yeah.
I gained through these years into
Yeah.
package. That's
Is it something that excites you? Like, is it something that you like,
of
that
course.
you enjoy? Okay, because that's really what matters. So the question, somebody one day asked me this question. Um, um, yeah, it was actually a therapist because I was very depressed that I was not doing very well. And so she asked me the following question. If all the jobs gave the same salary and all have the same job security and we had like some kind of universal income and you just had to do one thing, but that's it, what would you do?
Yeah.
Right? So if PhD, if graduating gave you a job no matter what you do, and it was the same salary and same security, that the question is, what would you do? Would you do this application or would you do something else?
I would do this application.
Then that's the answer, right? Because for me, the answer that came when they asked me that, I would teach. That's it.
Wow.
That's what I like. I would teach, you know? And so that's the real question. It's hard to control what's gonna help you.
Yes.
The answer, what gave you the right skills, is only gonna come way after you needed it, right? So I have no idea. I would say, if you're a PhD student in bioinformatics and you know AI and you know coding and you know math and you know biology, there's no way you don't succeed. Like you're gonna do very well, and you continue doing what you're doing, and it's gonna be a complete success. Especially if you're thinking about these things. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't worry so much about, oh, what's going to give me the right skill set. You just already have the right skill set multiplied by 10,
Yes.
right? Um, but let's say if I was going to give myself advice at my PhD, like, let me just try that,
Yeah.
because at some point I was a second year PhD student who felt like the biggest idiot in the world. And I think I would have told myself this. I mean, I was trying to succeed the standard way. I was trying to be like everyone else, but better, right? And the exact skills as everybody else. And it was math, which is really the research skill. I mean, there's a lot of types of math, but you can only be good at it in one kind of way. So I was pushing in that way and failing,
Yeah.
right? And then when I was a programmer, it was the same thing. Like I was trying to be a better one than the others, pushing in the straight direction and failing, right? And some people succeed at that. Good for them,
Yeah.
whatever. But I was trying in my PhD to just succeed the standard way, and I was overlooking a strength that I had, which was the teaching, and I completely overlooked it because nobody cares about teaching in academia.
Yeah.
Ironically, right? It should be, but nobody cares how well you teach. So I had this sort of side skill that was like nice, but I never paid attention to it and try to focus on the research. And I was like, what do I need to know to be the best researcher? What do I need to know? What do I need skills to da da da? And I was overlooking this, and what I didn't notice is that my weakness in research was, I'm not a terrible research, but I'm not a great amazing one either.
Yeah.
Is because I'm very slow,
Yeah.
a slow thinker. I was a very slow thinker, and that in classes it was difficult for me to keep track, and in talks it was difficult. In a conversation, if there's two people in the conversation, I could bring them to my level, but if there's three or more people, I was lost.
Okay.
And this was very depressing, the fact that I couldn't keep a conversation with many people. And then all those weaknesses of slow thinking, bad understanding, bad learner, difficulties learning, they translated into the strength I was teaching, because that's why I can teach, because I don't understand anything, right? I
Wow.
have to understand it in a way that everybody else, if I understand it, everybody understands.
Yeah.
So that was all my weaknesses converged into one little strength that I was completely overlooking for many, many, many years.
Wow.
And then, so the advice that I would say to a second year PhD student is, um, don't necessarily try to succeed in the way that you're supposed to, in the way that success is defined. Obviously do the stuff you need to do to finish, but no, whoever came up with the standards was doing it for themselves and then imposed it on everybody else. Do whatever it is that there's a super strength you have. I mean, there's many, but like, what is the stuff you really want to do? How is it that you really learn stuff?
Yeah.
How is it that you think, what's the world you want for the future generations? What do you want to help? You need to align like all those things, and listen to all those little voices more than the one that says you need skills and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. I mean, listen to what you want in every possible way. Be true to that,
Yes.
and there lies your huge strength.
True.
There, not in the other place. And when you find that, when you have that strength with, I think you're close, because you have this idea in your mind of what you have to do, then nothing else is gonna matter. Like nothing else, a skill set's not gonna matter. Like blah 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 graduations. Like what's gonna matter is when you tap into this thing, and that's when you really, that's your dharma. That's when you really can give the best to the world. You know.
Wow.
So yeah, that would be the advice I would give myself.
I mean, right now, I kind of in the middle, I just even forget that we are in a podcast and I was just listening to you and
Oh, we're
literally,
in a podcast. I forgot to.
I was just listening to you and imagining that how many times, you just are listening to all the other voices around you who are telling you that this is the standard way, though
Yeah.
that is the conventional way, but you just don't listen to yourself and do the unconventional thing which you might be good
Yeah.
at.
The world is too noisy, and there's too many standards set by God knows who. I don't know who set those stupid standards, but there's your own, set your own, and just follow what you love, what brings you joy,
Yeah.
what you want for others. And also here's another technique. Where is your ego gone? Right? Like, I'll tell you, when I'm a researcher, I'm very competitive, and not competitive in the way of being good, but in the way of being like with your elbows up, right? I was like, oh, I don't want people to steal my stuff, or
Okay.
I want to get there first, or and when I do anything else, when I'm the data scientist, like I'm the same. I'm like, I want to get the credit. I want to, I'm very like jealous with my information. I don't give it away because my ego is like up there for all those things. Because I mean, I have an ego, right? I'm just some guy with an ego. But when I teach stuff, like the ego is completely gone, right? So, for example, I'm friends with creators that are have way better numbers and do better stuff and like have, I'm not jealous at all. I'm actually happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this person actually helping me spread knowledge,
Wow.
right? And so their material does better than mine, and I love it. That would never happen in any other field. Like if I'm playing charades, I'm competitive. You know what I mean? Like anything I'm doing, I'm super competitive. But when I teach, competition's gone and it all becomes collaboration, which is really what humans are. At heart, we're collaborators. We evolved as collaborators. Competition came much later.
Yeah.
Um, so if there's a thing, I find that identifying your dharma is very much correlated to where is it that the ego is gone. Like when I'm teaching, I only care about the person I'm helping. I'm only care about the student, and I'm not that selfless anywhere else. Just there.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like the gods gave us this present, and it's like there's one thing where you're the person that you want to be, where your ego's gone, and where you're just pure soul, and for everything else
Yeah.
maybe not. And so that's a good sign of where is it, where what is it that you're doing where your ego's gone. Maybe you want to do this application and you think you can help the world, right? Like I want to do this app because it helps the world, or maybe something else
Yes.
that you say I just want. And if somebody comes and makes a better one, you'll be like, oh, that's good, you're helping me with what I'm trying,
Yeah.
like when that happens, then you've found your dharma. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I mean, I can tell you how happy I'm feeling after talking to you.
Oh,
I
thank you.
mean, it just makes me feel, I mean, I'm honored because I get to hear the person and not even just hear, share with the person whose book I was once reading and
Mm.
actually understood stuff from it. And I'm just very overwhelmed right now on a
Well,
very
thank you very much. It's an honor for me to be in your podcast.